Welcome, Blood Bowl fans, to Cablevision HD. I'm Complacent Badger,
I'm Gimpy.
and we are watching the last game of Week 4. You'll notice that we are missing one game, but that is due to a concession by the Vampire team. So, three games this week.
Yeah, Fardas Maximus had a little trouble with scheduling the last couple of weeks, life getting in the way. Hopefully, we'll be able to get full weeks in for the rest of the season, but we'll see how that goes.
One can hope. But for here, we have probably our most agile teams together.
If there's any team in the league that can hold their own in the passing game, it's going to be the Sargento Artists here against the Kislev Circus. The Circus, though, are the ones that I'm most worried about. And is that Frenzy I see?
I am no wrestle, kick, mighty blow, tackle, extra movement allowance.
Kislev.
Kislev has frenzy on the blitzer. Sorry.
Yeah, so that's gonna be big because he's looking for that diving tackle matchup. So
Yes. That's an interesting choice. I don't know if I would have gone for it, but I think he might just be having fun picking up because really. I don't think there's a lot of terrible choices when building, especially when you're talking about positionals that are usually kind of stuck into two types of skills to get.
Right.
But, I mean, Frenzy's totally fine ability.
Yeah, well, especially against a team like this where there's a very legitimate chance he can get 2 dice.
Yeah.
The one thing that you want to get off the pitch are going to be gutter runners, and he gets 2 shots at them and will get to follow up every time, so...
Yeah, it's a little tough for me not to say go for block first with that, and maybe even tackle since you already have diving tackle built in. But whatever. If you're having fun, grab Frenzy. I mean, a couple seasons ago we had a team that was built on Frenzy.
Yeah, that's true. And that team did really well. Usually, almost always made the semifinals. So.
Yeah. Corn Demons are a pretty powerful team. Unfortunately, we'll probably never see them back in Blood Bowl, but we still have Blood Bowl 1 for that.
Yeah.
So starting up, another one of those setups where everybody's just kind of in the center. That has to be a pre-made setup, right?
No, he moved those.
Did he?
Maybe he rearranged like where the actual players were. But, I definitely saw him moving players around.
Because that looks suspiciously similar to the Orc setup.
It does.
And
so I wonder if maybe the build is pre-made, but yeah, he places the players where he thinks is best.
Yeah, because still think it's an awful setup, because that just, as you've scolded me, gave up wings, and now he has eligible receivers in all directions.
He has so many eligible receivers. And, I know you're an agile team, but this is literally what the Circus does. They want to get in the backfield and have receivers.
And at the very least, make him leap over you. Force him to make those rolls.
Yeah, that's 2 rolls every time he wants to leap and get in the backfield.
Alright, so... I don't know what those gutter runners are just hanging out back there for. Why they didn't go up against those receivers to make that reception a little less likely.
I'm thinking he wanted the idea of a couple of safeties.
But gutter runners are AV4, and I think they come standard with dodge, right? Yeah.
They do, yeah.
That's still a safety. But it makes it, granted, Mastermeus did not throw the pass, so it ultimately didn't matter.
I'm actually a little surprised he didn't go for the short pass to the blitzer and then hand off to the one that was covered so he could leap and run to the end zone.
Honestly, I expected this guy to blitz off the defender and then just throw to this and then an automatic touchdown. But maybe he really wanted to use Frenzy. I mean, obviously we see that Frenzy's already put him down.
Yeah. Frenzy is a tough skill. Even with the 2 dice... Yeah, even with 2 dice per block, it's a tough skill.
It takes a lot of pre-planning, and if you don't have the basic skill set with block and tackle and things like that, it's actually hard to get benefit out of Frenzy. My assumption is that he's using it for breaking into cages and getting up to the ball carrier a little easier.
Yeah, that was my first thought. But I mean, he could have also picked it specifically for this matchup, so he has better odds of those gutter runners.
Maybe.
But
I think tackle
he's
would have been.
rarely that short-sighted though.
That's true, and I think tackle would have been a better choice for that purpose.
Yeah.
Okay, so the Sargento artist didn't do anything to stop those receivers, but maybe Mastermeus is super afraid of interception, because that was an easy touchdown there.
Yeah.
And then Frenzy throwing those both downs right there, having to use a reroll.
Yeah. An argument could be made that it did what he wanted it to. He was able to push a gutter runner off the pitch. He managed to get a KO out of it. That said, he's now used a reroll and he's had a turnover on it. He wasn't punished for the turnover, but as we've covered time and time again, just because it worked out doesn't mean that it was a good choice.
Yeah, not to mention with some sneaky play from the Sargento artist, due to Frenzy you having to follow up, that player is living on the edge, quite literally.
Yeah.
Maybe he's trying to get this catcher specifically to get SPP. That's why he's not trying to give it to the blitzers for a touchdown, but...
I mean, it does kind of make sense. He's only 4 away, so a touchdown sets him up well.
Possibly he doesn't want the Rats to get a return without reducing some player advantage. I just don't know why he didn't go for touchdowns like two turns in a row.
Mm-hmm. Interesting choice to throw a block with that one as opposed to try to rally out a waterfall from it.
Yeah.
A little cascade. What is that gutter runner doing?
I guess... Not,
Maybe that's as far as he could move?
possibly. I think that was... No, that one's not the one with 10. I think the one with 10 got knocked out. Not like it would have made a difference, but... Okay, well, I guess that's touchdown. Does he... Okay. Do all those to go over there. Okay.
Okay. That's not a 2-die. That was a weird choice to put that gutter runner then, if that's what we were going to do. Because that didn't do anything. If he had at least moved...
Right here to get a... Or over, if you wanted to go the easiest route, just here to get a 2-die. Yeah,
that's what I was saying. Is like, if you just moved south, you had it.
Or if you really want that 2-die on that blitzer, you just take 1 dodge there.
Mm-hmm.
And again, yeah, so getting the hit on that. Let's see if he actually goes for the touchdown this turn. I guess he just wants to throw the blocks. It makes sense. I mean, SPP, trying to get as much player advantage as you can before going into the second drive.
And right now, he doesn't feel like he's under a lot of
no, there's no
pressure.
Yeah, there's no players anywhere near him. All right, yeah, touchdown, I guess.
So that was an interesting drive. For Sargento Artist, maybe, man, I hate that defense so much.
It's
I really
awful.
do.
It's an awful defense. And then there was 0 pressure on the ball carrier with the exception of 2 gutter runners at the beginning, and then all the defensive pressure just kind of drained off of the ball. And
yeah, giving up those wings, and then because you give up those wings, there's so much penetration on both sides. You had to account for both sets of receivers, and that meant that you couldn't put pressure on the ball immediately. You had to shift it over. And by the time you did that, you gotten hit so many times that you lost, what, 3 players? 2 players?
2 players. Maybe 3 at the time, and 1 came back, but 2 players now. And I don't think he has any extra players. What is 6, 7, 8, 9? Yeah, he doesn't have any extra players still. So, high kick. That's useful.
That's good for the Rats.
He chose the furthest gutter runner up to go all the way back. It's an interesting choice. The gutter runner that had the most yardage retreated to get the ball.
Oh, maybe he wants to just use those other 2 to fill in a pseudo cage.
I just figured you'd use that one since he's already up to be like an eligible receiver.
He's gonna build his cage way back there.
Not even move him?
Yeah, he's building that cage way back there.
Okay.
Um,
I guess that's an option.
I understand the option of bringing your cage back if you haven't picked up the ball. Just so, you have that option where if it doesn't go your way, at least you have something there. He already had the ball. Why wouldn't you move it up as much as you could?
Well,
Was he afraid that the Kislev was going to be able to break in?
not to mention, you didn't have enough to finish your cage. You knew you had to send a guy back, which you could have moved the whole team, like your whole cage forward, and you would have finished your cage and been closer to a touchdown.
So yeah, so he doesn't have any receivers out, and this is the opposite of what we saw with Kislev. On the other drive, you saw the Rats give up the wings, which Mastermeus did not do here. We saw 3 or 4 receivers down there. There are 0 right now.
Yeah. Well, and the Rats set up. Granted, they're 2 players down. I get that, but they set up with nobody on the wings to try to penetrate and get downfield. They set all on the line and gutter runners in the back.
Yeah. I mean, even if you point out 2 players down, when you put... First of all, I don't think the Rats need 3 in the backfield.
No.
I understand the idea of having 3 in the backfield gets your gutter runners away in case of, like, a blitz, but what are the odds that a blitz comes up as an event?
And you should be far enough back to where a blitz doesn't affect you, especially if you have your wings protected.
Yeah. So maybe keeping that one other guy off the line was the plan, but...
And then right into the diving tackle.
Yep, we forgot about diving tackle there.
Yeah, because there's blitzers everywhere. And this is why you want to try to break through and get theirs into the backfield as quick as possible so that those blitzers can't get on you. You want to spread those blitzers out so you have routes.
Yeah. Or at the very least, you want to try to keep that ball as far forward as possible. So if this does happen, the ball's farther from their end zone.
Yeah, it's less likely for a rebuttal touchdown.
Because right now he has a chance at a 1 turn right here.
Yes.
It's not even a bad chance.
No. I think he just got rid of his eligible receiver for a blitz, though. But
Yeah.
I think he really wants to hurt those gutter runners. He's not terribly worried about touchdowns.
Yeah. I mean, he probably feels at this point that this touchdown's all but guaranteed.
Okay, so 10 spaces without a dodge. So if he wants to score this turn, he has to dodge. Well, no. He's going for the ball. Yeah, already used the reroll on blocking because he still doesn't have a basic blocking skill across the board. Not a single player on the Kislev team has block or tackle. I think one of them might have had nope. Oh yeah, no, that's a Rat that has wrestle. So, yeah, odd choices. Like, I don't get picking kick. Like, I know a lot of people love kick. I just don't understand getting it first.
Yeah. If you have, like, to me, block and dodge are almost always going to be bold choice, but it worked out.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Do not hand that ball off. That's a dead gutter runner.
But I got it.
That guy's dead.
Is it? Well, it's
Okay,
fine.
okay,
He caged
you
him. He
got it.
caged
You
him.
fixed it.
He's
Okay, we're
caged
good.
him. He's still dead because I see a leap coming.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's probably still dead. Did we forget leap exists here?
Okay. Well, he fixed that. I don't know if I would have used it on a lineman even if he does have kick, but alright. I don't know. I think it was an armor value reduction. I don't know if my kicking lineman is the guy I'm worried about with armor value reduction.
Yeah.
When I'm about to have a fucking gutter runner surfed.
Yeah. Maybe he was really worried about, that player disadvantage he's already at.
Yeah.
But, I mean, those were 2 KOs. Those might come back.
Yeah.
I'm not worried about those at all.
Okay, so it looks like he's planning on getting him with the old diving tackle. That looks like to be the goal here, not doing an immediate surf. I think he knows he has the players to come and aggress that setup.
To me, I wonder if it's because he doesn't he wants control to some degree of where the ball ends up. If he
Yeah.
surfs it, that ball goes a completely random place no matter what.
Yeah, but
Whereas,
all the gutter runners except for the one that he's pounded into the ground are right here. Like
yeah,
they're tied up. He likes to bunch up his gutter runners instead of keeping them spread out to where they're always a threat.
yeah. I mean, for Mastermeus, I wonder if the reason why Mastermeus didn't do the surf was because he wants to make sure the ball tries to stay in that area.
That's exactly my point. Is that even if the ball goes out of control somewhere else, like is the storm vermin who you're worried about? like
fair
he's
point.
AG3, he's fine, but like is that where we're worried about? Like winning this drive? Yeah, and that's why I didn't see this working. That I thought the leap was the better move because that guy with diving tackle is just gone.
Hey, we avoided some diving tackle here.
Yeah, that was good.
He might find a way to score
Dude,
here.
and this is the kind of thing that I was worried about. Like when he's throwing hits instead of going for that touchdown. Like, did we forget, Mastermeus, that like if you keep the ball on, especially on the ground, let alone in play around rats, they will get it and they will score.
Which is weird because he ran one of the best rat teams that I've seen.
Yeah.
You think if anybody would remember that?
Like I do not allow the ball to be in play, especially not on the ground with rats about.
Jesus.
And neither one of them blitzed. Alright. I guess we'll take it from that direction. He's down.
He's pushing him away.
Yeah.
So
Let's see where the ball bounces. Ooh, that's a good bounce. Alright. So, beating up on this gutter runner.
fuck that guy in particular.
So, it is not going to be too hard for this gutter runner to grab this ball and bail out. Now, he does have to contend with diving tackle. But, I don't know, man. Oh, wow.
What? Did we need that? I guess he really wanted that touchdown.
Okay.
Well, I hope so.
He's got it.
Okay, he got it.
Oh,
He
my
got
God. Oh, my God. Oh, that's dangerous. But the gutter runner that is the eligible touchdown is surrounded by diving tackle. So
Yeah.
this isn't the this isn't the worst.
Yeah.
He is
Well,
no
now
longer
that diving
surrounded.
tackle's
Yeah,
gone,
he's
so-
no longer surrounded by diving tackle.
You were saying? All right. He gets somebody else off the ball. Cool.
And I guess if you're in the lead like Mastermeus is right now, I guess you're not worried about the rebuttal touchdown as much.
Okay, here comes the throw.
Yeah, it should be easy, and then this should be easy.
Do not. Okay, thank God.
Yeah, no. Like,
I get worried. I was
Yeah.
like, is he gonna run through
No.
that tackle zone? Has he
Yeah.
learned? He has. That was a good
no,
job.
that was excellent job. Again, I don't know, and I know this is immediately contrary to what I just said, but I don't know if I would have gone for that pass, knowing for that rebuttal touchdown was so easy.
I mean, I would have made a lot of different choices than both of these coaches here. You know, we try, to be fair, not to be mean during these. Like, that's not the intent. But then sometimes we see drives and we're like, I don't know what you were thinking.
Yeah. So we got a high kick.
This is great position for the Rats, though.
Is it?
I mean, well, I guess they're down 3 players now, but you get the ball to start off. You've got a tie game going into the half.
Oh, I
against
guess-
probably the toughest team in the league.
I
Like,
guess
this-
scoreboard-wise, I was like, setup and player-wise, this is awful. Like again,
Oh yeah,
all
no,
of his
This is not the setup that I would pick.
like he put out a thrower, and I was like, okay, cool. That that means you're gonna use receivers, right? No, like what? I get like why would you pick up a thrower at the beginning of the season if you're not going to use him as a thrower? Is he just your ball pickup and handoff guy?
Well, he wasn't, because the last drive started with a gutter runner.
Maybe he was KO'd.
Maybe. Yeah, that could be. He could be one of the 2 KO'd guys. Because one of those is back now.
It's just your whole team. Your gut runners are back there.
This is the kind of setup I would see with dwarves.
Yeah, like this is.
And I have.
Yeah. And it's a different team. That's why you
Yeah.
do different things.
And even then, I said this was a bad setup.
Yeah?
I wasn't a fan of this setup with them, and that one was more understandable because you lack the movement allowance.
Yeah. But then I took it into consideration and I changed my style.
Yeah, and look at that, you won.
I did. Well, so Kislev again swarming the backfield. They're already halfway on the pitch.
There's another KO.
Yeah,
That AV7.
yeah. I don't know if he would have been able to, like, there's no way he would have been able to stop every player from getting in the backfield, but there was a decent chance of stopping 6 players from getting in the backfield.
It's like, I don't know if he could have stopped every player from getting in the backfield, but he could have stopped every player from getting in the backfield. Like, maybe that was the standard we needed to set.
Alright. Well, Dodge working overtime right there, and he opts for a reroll on that. That's interesting.
Yeah, I probably would have saved it.
Yeah, because I don't know if that down would have actually is going to gain any yardage.
Yep,
Nope, and you
then that happens.
immediately use it for a...
So remember
a
when I was
block.
like, hey, this is the kind of position that Sargento artists want. This is literally the worst thing that could happen to the Rats right now.
Yeah, we throw a bunch of blocks without getting any of the free moves or like any receivers down there. We don't have a cage around the ball carrier. We have basically the entire Kislev team over the halfway mark with the exception of 2.
One of which was very intentional.
Yeah, yeah. This is a really bad situation for the Sargento artists. Okay, so lucking out with a little bit of a push there, but I mean, that's not going to set you up well for next turn either way, so...
And that is still diving tackle.
Yeah, exactly. Like, your next turn's not going to be great.
The Mastermeus just collapsing. Good news, the ball carrier has a cage around him now.
That's true. Bad news. It's the wrong cage. Alright, so, yeah, so he goes for the pass. Yeah. I guess that's your only move.
Maybe I pick up a couple of those guys first?
Yeah, I guess the one that's down.
Yeah, because the other one was stunned, so you couldn't pick up that
Yeah,
one.
but at least picking up the Storm Vermin. That is a pretty good player to have standing.
Yeah.
He is just really mad and just pushing this thrower.
I am actually a little surprised, especially if you're gonna pick up. Okay, he's just marking with that.
Yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah.
like, I'm a little surprised he didn't push him. This is one of those times where I would say push diagonally, because that way you can get a blitz in and surf that guy.
Yeah, yeah. I definitely saw that as a mark. That's important. Get your throws in after the ball's marked. Granted, I think I would have, like, I get that he wanted to mark the Storm Vermin as well, but I think I would have thrown two marks on the ball just because it's gutter runners. Like, gutter runners are known for their wackiness. And yeah, just pushes for days. But, you know, you gotta expect having to resolve to a lot of pushes when you don't have basic skills.
Yeah.
Alright, so that's 2-1 on a Skaven drive, so that's rough.
Yeah,
And
but there's a real good chance he can tie up here.
Yeah, there's a lot of game left, but he's now down more players. So he has 4 players that don't have to be...
players.
Yeah, he has 4 players that don't need to be on the line. Let's see if he actually moves any of them to be aggressive. Quite...
So there are 2 schools of thought here. And one of them is since you have fewer players, you want to try to keep them tighter up so that you can cage and come down. And that makes sense for a team like mine or yours, where we lack a lot of those skills, and our primary method of that is the worst thing that could have happened.
Well, I mean, he's not playing the thrower, so, like, of all players, that might have been one of the best ones. So, like, look at this route. He has all of his diving tackle players on the wings. Are you telling me that a gutter runner can't get through that? Like, I know it's not amazing odds, but it's pretty fair odds to get through there, especially if you knock this guy down like you're willing to do with one die. Just flood all your rats down there. What happened to that from the beginning of the season that we talked about? Where like that patented rat flood, where you open one hole and they all go through. What happened to that?
Yeah, well, and in the first turn, like, you get to set up your defense or you get to set up your offense after the defense sets theirs up. All you have to do is make one hole. You can knock down any one of these linemen,
Yeah.
and then it's even easier to get out.
Yeah, and like you're saying, you see where those diving tackle players are at. Okay, I go not there.
When I played against Mastermeus's cheese team, that's exactly what ended up happening was he scored on me twice using a total of 2 turns. Now,
Yeah.
granted, he had extra skills that you don't have, but the concept still works, where it did not matter how I set up my defense. He always found a way to make it to where he didn't have more than basically 1 tackle zone to dodge through at a time, rarely had to do more than 2 dodges at a time.
Mm-hmm. Alright, so he definitely has the players to where his linemen and his catcher are just dealing with the few players that are in midfield. And then the blitzers do their job of just taking on over there. I'd like to know the thought process of giving this blitzer dodge instead of some offensive skill. Like,
Yeah, I don't know. I was gonna say, like, maybe it's because he wants him to be a ball carrier, but I don't.
He's got catchers.
Yeah.
Like,
and his catchers are leveling. It's not like he's just focusing his blitzers.
Yeah. All right.
As Kislev team is not a team that I'm looking forward to going up against. They're going to be very well skilled, and he's a much better coach than I am.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't know. Like this whole season, from what I've seen of Mastermeus, has just been a lot of. I mean, maybe he knows that this is kind of like a finite league, so he's doing a lot of goofy stuff and trying new stuff. But like to me, this Kislev team is nothing compared to his Pro Elf team or his Skaven or his Nurgle or his Chaos Dwarves because. One, I think inherently Kislev's strength, which is the leap, is kind of a little too gimmicky for it to be scary. It's much like my goblins and all of their tools, that it's just something that's there, not something you have to be terribly worried about. But you know, I did
trying this again.
Yeah. Okay, and down.
Yeah, you know what went great there? Block.
Yeah.
To me, I think the big thing here isn't necessarily so much like of how gimmicky. Why? Okay, I guess because you wanted to push that guy out of the way, but
All right. Well.
I don't know. Yeah, honestly, that was actually a good dodge. It's just one of those things where we've had so many bad decisions or other decisions that I would have made.
Was that
the one?
Was that a blitz though, or was that just moving?
It was a blitz, yeah.
Okay, was he probably blitzing this catcher? Probably
Yeah.
blitzing it to here and then doing a 1 die to push him out or something?
No, he had to blitz the other way to free up that space because he
Alright.
moved the gutter runner there to engage.
So, double attacker down. Not a lot you can do about that. It happens. But you've burnt a lot of rerolls, so...
Yeah, I mean, there was something you could do, and it was have your blocks. I would have followed up there.
At least get
These
him
are
off
dead
the...
gutter runners.
Yeah. I don't know what the plan was there. Like,
And the jump up, he doesn't even have to blitz to get that push off.
No. Like, I think my role would have been
This
just
might legitimate.
Yeah. I think over there I would have just... I mean, it would have failed as well, so, you know, my plan's not any better, but I think I would have just tried to run my gutter runner down and then pop him out, you know what I mean? Rather than trying to dodge with that one in particular.
Yeah. Oh, this has been all over the place right now. He's picking it up.
Alright, we failed that. No rerolls left.
But he's still in a position to score.
Yeah,
I'm surprised he did not. He threw blocks, and I'm surprised of the one block he didn't throw, which was that gunner runner on the edge of the pitch. You could have gotten 2 off the pitch.
Yeah, he had a free blitzer to do it. I think he was trying to use that as the receiver to score now.
Yeah, but what about that? Was that lineman? right there on the line. He can make it, right?
Yeah.
Like,
But
you only need a push.
he loves you. He loves using those blitzers, though, man. Even
Yeah,
though
he wants them to level up.
at least for the purposes of blocking, they're skilled identically right now. So I mean, okay. Well, that happened.
So that was a game.
Yeah. I don't know if we're gonna glean anything from rolls.
I don't think the rolls were the problem here.
A lot of attacker down. I mean, not like crazy amounts.
How many were selected, though? Because, yeah, I mean, you could roll attacker down on every set of 2 dice.
Yeah,
But
it doesn't
if
actually matter.
something else is there, yeah, it doesn't matter.
I think one. I think one attacker down was selected.
I don't even see one. I just see that both down.
Oh, I mean, it had to have been one.
Yeah. So that last one, no, because the last one was a both down, but he doesn't have block and the other guy does.
No, there was, maybe I'm looking at the wrong team, because there was definitely an instance of double attacker down coming out, and I thought it was Mastermeus that did it.
Yeah. All I'm showing here is one both down. So the attacker downs, while you threw a lot of them, never came up.
Yeah. And honestly, Sargento Artis had a crazy amount of defender downs.
Yeah. Definitely the rolls were in their favor here.
Wow. Rolls-wise, pretty even spread.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, I mean, that's about as good as you could hope for. So that was all in the favor.
And the pens weren't insane on that.
No.
Like, as an AV7 team, you're rolling 2/3 armor pen. That's not outrageous.
No. That's just, you got a lot of hits on you.
Mm-hmm.
And then, let's look at Bowden and Brody. It's almost an even split. The ones are a titch high. Yeah.
But he also threw 24 armor rolls, so that might have helped him.
Yeah. All in all, I think both. I don't think either team really played to their race's strengths.
Agreed. I also think that neither coach played to, not even just their potential, like to a level we've seen them play this season.
The previous games with the Sargento Artis, they actually had me scared. Like, Ice Cream Animal was playing those rats super textbook and doing an amazing job in a lot of these games.
The first game against me, if it wasn't for penetration rolls, he would have smoked me. I thought the play was borderline flawless. Here, we say it every game, almost every game. Stop giving up wings.
Yeah.
If you're gonna, one of the big things you want to do is you want to look at the experienced coaches, the good coaches, those coaches who are like, I don't want to play against that guy, and you want to learn something. You don't see Mastermeus giving up wings. You don't see Mazrak giving up wings. That's not a thing that happens. And those are two very different styles of teams, and they're still both doing that. Maybe we look at that.
And here's the hint: have they won a championship in this league? You should probably replicate at least a portion of what they've done and what they're doing, because that means that they're competent coaches. They may not have a good game every game, but it means they're competent enough to win a season. And the coaches that we have remaining that have won championships are Mastermeus and Mazrak.
Yeah.
So learn from them.
Yeah, if there's anyone I'm going to try to emulate, it's those. And as an agility team, the Kislev Circus are the team that I'm looking at to pick up tips. Okay, what are they doing, and what can I do that replicates that, or like as an equal substitution? Where's my artificial sugar for I can't leap, but I have AV4 and dodge on gutter runner, or AG4 and dodge on gutter runners. That's basically the same. Like, yeah, that's 3 dodge rolls, but they're nothing to me.
Well, especially with that increased movement allowance. So, yeah, for the artist, I think just go back to what you were doing for the last few games. I think you were doing really well before then. For Bowden and Brody Circus, I don't know what game you were playing, man. I think maybe you were just in there for some keck. You were just messing around, trying try to have fun with the blitzers. That frenzy choice, I think, is a pretty good indicator that you're just in here for chuckles with this Kislev team. So I don't know. You won. You took advantage of some plays. That's all I'm running. Just
Yeah, for a coach who really looked like he wanted to surf a couple of times, you made some odd choices that you wouldn't surf. And a couple of those, like, we get. Not pushing the ball off the pitch. Okay, you want to control the ball a little bit, but then you did it later in the game, presumably because you felt like you had the game already locked up. But and then, but then you had another guy who's just sitting on the edge, not doing anything, who you could have blitzed off, and because you didn't take any blocking skills, that bit you today.
yeah.
Tackle would have reduced the amount of just having not tackle, just having block on any of those guys would have reduced those rerolls, so you could have had those at the end of the game to pick up the ball or throw the ball or do the things that you wanted to do at the end. You could have finished 3-1. That ringmaster could be a level 3 ringmaster going into next week.
Yeah. Yeah. Skill choices is probably all I'd say about Mastermeus, but he's always into making those weird builds. However, I don't know if this is a season that those weird builds are going to actually pay off. I think they're going to hurt you for the remainder of the season.
Yeah. But maybe that was the plan. Maybe he, like you said, maybe this is that season where he's just going to let everything kind of run, and he'll figure it out. Once we get into an actual return to the BT League, he'll have a build that he already has tried out and will know will work or won't work.
Yeah, that makes sense. I'm with that. All right. I think that's all we have. I guess we're done pounding on people for playing a game and having fun.
Yeah. Screw you guys for trying to have fun here.
All right. As we always say, this is only meant to entertain, and we hope you don't take it too much to heart. We lose most of our games, so anytime that you hear us say anything, just remember that you win more than we do. So
I'm pretty sure I have the worst record in the league, so you guys are safe.
All right. Well, with that, we'll see you next time.
Have a good one.